Hey everyone, Jahendo here at the Mystical Yoga Farm, about to do a virtual farm tour, give you a taste of what it's like to spend some time here, as well as show you some of the upgrades and improvements we've been doing around the farm. Over here you see we're overlooking the two volcanoes, Volcan Santiago and Volcan Toliman. Over here you can see we are at the base of Volcan San Pedro, and then over to the left there is Grandfather Rock, our main guardian of this sacred land. This is the dock that we use for things like swimming, paddleboarding, morning meditation, sunbathing, all sorts of good stuff. Over here you see that we have our lancha, our boat that we use for farm supplies and getting people over here. Here we have our old boat that we're going to be transforming into our third boathouse. It's going to be called the Lakshmi Lancha. Lancha is Spanish for boat. So over here you see all of the land that we've recently reclaimed from the lake. Due to the falling of the lake, now we have all this new planting area. Over here you see we have our new sacred sun. It's in the shape of a sun with a little grassy patch. We'll use it for fire spinning, as well as any kind of performances, as well as sunbathing, yoga, meditation, all that good stuff. Over there you see we have our day lounge. It's a nice little hut with a cool little couch and some squish to view the sun or just to hang out. Here we have our new welcome archway. As you can see, we're growing vines up it. It's still very early in the process, so in about 3 months this whole thing will be covered with vines, and we'll put a nice welcome sign and everything, and it'll be super magical as you walk in the farm. Over there you see lots of gardens, some squash, a dear brother watering the gardens. Here we have our second boathouse. It's called the Shakti Ship. Just added these palms to them, as well as over here we have the Shiva Sham boat. We have our nice white sage plant, some more gardens all along. Stay tuned for the plant walk permaculture tour, where I'll be going into more details about all of the plants and such that we have here. We're basically surrounded by gardens as we come. Here's our first and main yoga shala. This is called the water shala. It was built 10 years ago. Here we see a lovely yoga giving a beautiful example. Make sure you breathe. Here we have some nice stairs that we use some broken cups and singing bowls to make some art with. So this space, surrounded by hammocks and everything, is perfect for chilling. Has a beautiful breeze. On either side we have two private cabins. As we walk up, we see our wheelbarrow ramp to these stairs on either side. So this is the public path. If you go about 3 minutes down that path, you'll find our other property and other yoga studio called Jaguar Hall. We have our new fence right here with a gate that we built all out of sticks that we pruned and harvested from the land. Gardens on either side. Our gray water system's just over there. We have a private cabin called Pleiades, as well as a private cabin called Orion over here. One of our compost toilets right over there. All of our compost toilets are equipped with art and murals inside. We have our dry rack for drying blankets and clothes. We have our rancho porch right here. So this building to the left right here is our rancho. It's the heart of our community. If you're familiar with permaculture, it's our zone 0. We play the gong anytime that there's meals ready. Our dishwashing station is over there. We have a 3-bucket system to save water. Let's take a step inside the rancho, our main building. It's where we eat all of our meals. We sit on the floor. We have an amazing library just over here filled with spiritual and health-related books. We have over here our chandelier that's been around for a long time, but we've been giving it an upgrade, adding some glitter, making it dangle a little bit more right on top of our altar. Just over there we have our herbal apothecary, where we have tinctures and fire cider and other herbal supplements, and about 90% of what you see is from things that come from the farm. You can see we have our personal storage right there, as well as we have lots of instruments. We have about 7 good djembes, 2 nice guitars, and lots of rattles and different things. We have here our oracle shelf where we have loads of oracle cards if you're seeking some guidance. This is where we put our meals. Upstairs we have a dorm room that sleeps up to 8 people. Here we have where we get our drinking water filled with the Japanese water blessing, as well as our tea wall. So this is mostly herbs from the farm. Right now about 70% is from the farm, and it's available for anybody at any time to always have some fresh tea and to grab a cup. So let's take a step outside of the rancho. Now, here's one of my favorite fruit trees on the farm. It's called the cherry guava. Tastes like a cherry, but it feels like a guava. Come around here to see the first structure ever built on the farm. It's the Skal. It recently got an upgrade. If you want to take a step inside. So we just recently added that rock wall around the base, because normally with the oven the way that it is, you have to change it out every 4 years or so, which creates waste, and we try to create as little waste as possible here. So we just did an upgrade so that we wouldn't need to replace it. We just covered up the holes and the smoke and regulated the temperature a little bit better with the rocks. So let's take a step back to our showers. We have 2 showers that are heated from our solar thermal heating that I'll show you as we walk down. I'm going to show you just one of the showers because it has an amazing mosaic in it that was just completed in November, I believe, out of all of our broken cups and plates and whatnot. So definitely it's a magical place to have a shower and to cleanse yourself. So let's keep walking this way. And we have our hand washing station just right here where people wash their hands before meals and after bathroom trips. So let's keep walking just around the corner here. We have 4 compost toilets right here. They're very simple to use. Essentially, we're saving clean water as well as creating good soil in the process. So about a year after we empty the compost toilets and mixing them with sawdust, then they become available for our fruit trees. And then after 2 years of sitting mixed with the sawdust, they become available for our vegetables. So over here you see all of the old palms from our old roof. We just replaced the Rancho roof and are reusing all of the palms for garden projects, as well as decking out some other roofs that we have. Here's the solar thermal. This is what heats our shower. Here we have the office. For now you'll just see the outside. You'll have to come give us a visit if you want to come inside. So over here we have our main ceremonial space. This is my personal favorite space on the farm. It's the sacred fire, where we have fire ceremonies, song circles, celebrations, gratitudes, releasing ceremonies. You can see there's rock carvings of the medicine wheel all around the space, and it's super grounding, and it's our main space of prayer and intention. So let's take a look inside more. This is what I'm so excited to show you about, because many of you might have actually slept in this place. It used to be a dorm, but we recently transformed it into our woodshop / creative station. So upstairs we have all the paints. This is where we paint signs. And look, we're in the process of making an amazing, super detailed map that's going to include all of our plants and gardening stuff. So this place is in the process still of being transformed. And why we changed it from a dorm is because this was our dorm that got the most complaints out of any of the other dorms, and just year after year we've tried to make it better, improve it as a living space, and it just became clear that it wanted to be transformed into a creation space. And that's one of our main goals and missions here at the farm, is to inspire and awaken the creative life force in all beings. So that a big part of that is art, which you see here. So it's a little bit of a mess right now. We have our temporary tool storage right now as we're renewing our resource center. So we'll come right around the corner. I'm super stoked to show y'all this as well. It's a little bit of a mess because it's an ongoing project. You see, we tore down this wall that used to be the bodega, and we used to have a really small recycle center. So this whole area is going to be what's known as our resource center, which is just a better word for recycle center. And in this zone, we're going to be recycling and reusing all of our plastic and metal and other kinds of waste. You see right there, we have our mural that was actually done in 2015, and we're just livening it up a bit, repainting it, going over some of the things, making it pop a little bit more. So we'll continue walking up the path. Again, it's a bit of a mess from the ongoing project, but here's our nursery. This whole zone's our permaculture zone, where we compost our food and turn it into usable soil, as well as we plant all of our babies. So it's a little empty right now, emptier than usual, because since the rainy season started, we've been taking everything out and putting it in the gardens, really focusing on getting lots of food and herbs growing in the garden. So we look here and we have the Ohm Dome. And as you can maybe hear, the acoustics are amazing in here. So this is our sound healing dome. It can fit about 12 people or so. It's great for chanting or sound healing. You can see we've got this lovely Neptune gong hanging in the center. This Neptune gong is a new addition, and it's really completed the Ohm Dome. So there's a great space to activate your voice, as well as play with different sounds. Over here we have Pause, one of our main dorms. Here it sleeps 6. Let's continue to walk down the path. Of course, we've got gardens on either sides, as with the entire farm. Here we have our little rock Buddha, little guardian along the pathless path. We call this path that we're walking along the pathless path because you walk on it and you never know where you'll end up, and it's kind of symbolic of the spiritual path. You know, there's no right way or wrong way to go, and there's many turns, and you can end up in many different spaces. So just walk over here to one of my personal favorite spaces, the tea house. This is where we have all of our volunteer meetings and staff meetings, as well as tea ceremonies in the morning and a few tea parties at night. It's great. It's Gong Fu Cha style. The founder is from China, so he really made an awesome space to come and enjoy some tea. It's got a great view and a great breeze up here. So that's the tea house. Hopefully you'll come and have some tea. I look forward to cheersing you someday, as soon as the borders open up. Let's walk up the path. So here we have our water tanks, where we get all of our water. We pump it with a solar pump from the lake, and then it goes through a series of about 6 carbon filters, and then it ends with a UV filter, all powered by the sun. So you notice a lot of what we have is powered by the sun, and that's because we are a permaculture farm, and we believe in sustainability, and we don't want to produce more waste than we have to. We focus on sustainability, regeneration, empowerment, and transformation here. So we are a retreat center. We host yoga retreats, we host ceremonies and events, and at the core foundation of who we are as a community, we are a permaculture farm. So you see over here we have 2 more compost toilets. And then just over there, you can see our humanure storage. So once compost toilets are full, we empty them out, we put them in there, and then it's a 2-section system, where one section is between 0 and 1 years old, and then the other section is between 1 and 2 years old, and it's a way that we can regulate and know when the soils are ready. So just looking up there real quick, you'll see grandmother tree, a tree that fell a couple years ago, but her spirit is still very strong. It's a living altar now. I have some cabins up top, and if you keep walking up the path, you'll find an amazing orange tree called the climbing tree, and it's literally built for climbing, and it's really fun to enjoy on days off and things. So here we have, last and certainly not least, our main yoga shala, Abuela. It's on the 2nd story. It feels more like the 3rd story. completely surrounded by jungle, has an amazing mural that you get to see in your downward dog, an amazing volcano and lake and forest that you get to see in all your warrior poses and beyond. And so this is our main yoga space, as well as we have classes and lessons here and ecstatic dances and lots of other good things. So this concludes our tour. You've seen all of our sacred spaces, all of the places where we do yoga and have ceremonies and different things. Stay tuned for our permaculture tour, where we'll be going more in depth on our sustainability and regeneration practices, as well as I'll give you a look at what herbs we have in the garden and stuff. So this is the Mystical Yoga Farm, and if you want to see more, then I highly recommend booking a yoga teacher training or one of our upcoming retreats as soon as those borders open. So thank you for tuning in, and namaste. Mwah.